Hey, what is going on, you guys, and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you guys how I made my first $100,000 at the age of 20. Now, before I get started with this video, I just want to say, if you're a new subscriber, welcome to the channel. One of my subscribers actually sent me this sweet mug here a little while back. Shout out to my boy Mark. And on this channel, we normally talk about credit cards. That's probably how most of you guys have found me, but I feel like it's good to do these story time videos, especially on the weekends when I don't feel like making credit card videos. So I'm going to share with you guys exactly what I did to get to where I am right now. And in no way am I successful or consider myself on that level of success that I'm striving to be on, but I have definitely come a very far and long way from where I began. I actually had no intentions of ever becoming an entrepreneur or a YouTuber or someone who just owns multiple businesses. I actually was on the route of becoming a police officer when I first started everything. And that was actually my goals when I was in high school, but a lot of things changed. And they changed very, very quickly within the span of a couple years. So I am 22 years old right now. I started all this at about like 19 to 20 years old. So in this video, I'm going to share with you guys 5 actionable steps you guys can take if you're striving to be an entrepreneur. Right now, you might be thinking, is it even possible to make money? Is it even possible to be successful online? Where do I even start? These are a lot of questions that I had initially in the beginning. So I want to share with you guys exactly what you guys can do, the type of mindset you guys need to have just so you guys can be successful. Now, on top of that, I'm just going to be sharing with you guys a little bit more about myself, my experience with school, just the type of person I was growing up and the financial instability that my family faced while growing up in the United States. Yeah, so if you guys don't know me, my name is Brian, and I actually grew up in the United States. I grew up in the DMV area, the District of Columbia, Maryland, Virginia, and I was born in Maryland, and I was your traditional little Asian boy. You know, I went to school, I played the clarinet. I was a pretty smart kid in elementary school. I was always in GT programs. I was always in the magnet programs, but growing up towards middle school and high school, I started really struggling with school, and it wasn't because school was any harder than a lot of people think it was. It was actually because I just had no interest in school during those times. I really got heavily into sports, and during high school, I ended up playing football. I played rugby, and I played rugby pretty intensively. That's all I thought about. Every day and night, I would watch highlight videos all the time and put in a lot of hard work. We went to nationals, we went to states. I was the all-star player for Maryland for about 2 to 3 years. And after that, I got a couple Division I scholarships to play rugby. Now, don't think that's pretty crazy, because it's not. In the United States, rugby is not really developed at all. So even if you get like a D1 scholarship, most of the time it's not even worth it, just because the level of competition in the United States is so small, especially compared to like New Zealand, England, Australia, just a lot of the other countries out there who are more focused on rugby. So that happened, and I actually turned down all those D1 scholarships because they did not cover my school enough that I wanted, and plus I understood the risks of rugby and trying to balance out school, and on top of that, it's not something I wanted to do. So growing up, you guys, I struggled a lot financially. My parents took a big hit during the 2008 recession, and when that happened, a lot of things went downhill. We always struggled financially, and even during like those tournaments like nationals and states, you always had to pay for your hotel and the transportation and the cost of just being on the team, and even those expenses were just tough on my family to afford. And I couldn't even work because I was like 16, 17, and by the time I was 18, when I could get a job, it was, you know, you're already out of high school. So I realized there were a lot of instabilities in my life at a young age, and I understood just how much of a role that money played, and not being able to eat out when you want, not being able to get the clothes you need, or just not being able to take the trips with friends that you want to just because you don't have that financial capability. So I learned at a young age just how important money was and just how to save money. If I'm frugal now, it's not because of like, it is my mindset, but a lot of that just comes from my childhood experience. I actually ended up going to community college, and the reason why I chose community college was because since my family wasn't making a lot of money, we got approved for something called the Pell Grant, and on top of that, we got financial aid from FAFSA, and that actually allowed me to go to school completely for free. I didn't have to pay a dime, but I still took out student loans, and the reason why I did was because I on the low key kind of just use that to fund any other things that I needed. So a lot of people I know actually do this. I know you're not really supposed to, but people who get their school covered will still take out student loans and they'll actually fund whatever they need, maybe textbooks or maybe like a new computer, or sometimes people will buy new clothes with it, honestly, or some people will buy food with it. Some people do, whatever you want with that money, because I was working a job during that time and I used to work with kids who had disabilities. I used to work with kids who had autism. The thing is, that job didn't really pay too well, and I only worked 2 to 3 days a week. So my paycheck was about $200 every 2 weeks. It was really nothing. So one of the things about that job, though, it was a good job. It was a job where I would feel so much gratitude. And if you guys don't know what autism is, or if you've never heard of it before, autism is just like an umbrella spectrum. So autism is really, it can be from anyone who is like a complete zombie, where they can't function, they can't eat, they can't do anything by themselves, they can't talk, they're nonverbal, to someone who is considered to having Asperger's, someone who's like a little bit more weird, a little bit more socially weird, but they can complete anything. So if you guys have seen movies like Rain Man or something, where you're really good at a specific task or you're really zoned into one thing, that can be considered autism. So I actually worked that job for about 3 to 4 years, and I saw the whole spectrum. I used to work with a kid who was that zombie, who literally couldn't do anything. He was nonverbal. He would drool everywhere. If you said anything, or if you made like too loud of a noise, and he would literally just claw you. And I've worked with kids who are incredibly, incredibly smart. So that job was really a feel-good job. It opened my eyes to the perspective of this entire world. And I feel like if I never worked a job like that, I would not be the person I am today, just because it made me feel so much gratitude during those times, just working with those families, helping those families out. And you realize, until you know someone with autism in your life, whether it's a family member or a close friend, you're never going to understand anything like that. And the disability community, it's just a huge, huge thing. So if anyone asks me like, what is the first job I should work, I always recommend like working with someone who has working with people who are less fortunate than you. That's what I recommend. I recommend working with people who have special needs, or people at a retirement home. You might not make that much money, but the amount of lessons you make just supersedes any type of monetary value that you're going to make. So that's what I did. I didn't make that much money, and during that time I was still going to school. And one of the things I realized was my family was still struggling, even while I was in college. And one of the worst feelings I had personally was the fact that I couldn't help out my parents during that time. And that's all I wanted to do. My parents immigrated to Korea when they were like 20 something years old, right before they got married. I was born in the US, and they've lived a tough life. When you come to the US, you can't speak English, and you build yourself this foundation, this home, and this family without even knowing, the right language. It's a tough life you have to live. You have to face discrimination. I faced a lot of discrimination growing up, especially the area I lived in. Sometimes I wish, like, why am I like Asian? Like, why am I Korean? Why couldn't I have been born white? Then I feel like I would have been more accepted. That's like really how I felt growing up. So I was always like, the outcast, to say. I always felt like I was very different from people. And even in school and in classes, I just hated conforming to regular things. I hated sitting in class. I hated just listening to the teacher and thinking like you have to abide by these rules, and you have to go to school, you have to go to college, and then you have to work a 9-to-5 job, and then you die. If I did that, I feel like my life would have been so empty. So this kind of leads into one of the first points, and I want to just get straight into the actionable steps I took, because I know a lot of people are here more for that instead of my own life story. But after living that type of lifestyle and being in community college and then working with those kids and then still seeing my parents struggle, I realized I wanted to help them out in any way I could. What are some side hustles? What are some ways I can work for myself? I don't want to work a 9-to-5. I love freedom. I love going out. I love fishing. I love being able to do things when I want to do it, but I also want to make money at the same time. So I remember like so vividly to this day, because I had goosebumps when I first figured this out. Just went on YouTube and I typed in how to make money online, and I actually watched this guy named Mike Vasteel, one of his older videos, and he was just like flipping couches and sofas on eBay and like drop shipping them from Walmart to different customers and making a profit margin off of that. And that really planted the seed. That moment right there planted the seed for me. And once I am focused on something, if I want to get good at something, I get good at it. It doesn't matter what it is, whether it's sports, whether it's like on a social dynamic where I want to be like a good speaker, or I want to help other people out. I'm going to get good at it if my focus is there. That's one of the issues I had with school. I didn't care at all about school, but there were some classes like psychology or sociology that I was very, very interested in. And I did so well in those classes without ever studying or trying. When I first learned about online business and entrepreneurship, I just got so excited because I was like, oh my gosh, I can make money online. I can actually be financially free for the first time in my life after 20 years old and actually help out my parents and actually be able to do what I want, not have to eat out only once or twice a week because I have no money. I could do what I wanted. And that's where it all started. So the business model I started with was initially dropshipping. The top 3 that I had, if you guys want to take notes or anything, there's 3 main business models. There's affiliate marketing, there's dropshipping, and then there's Amazon FBA. All of these are kind of intertwined. It just depends on the angle that you're going with and the type of model that you go with. Dropshipping, the benefit is that you hold no inventory. You don't have to worry about buying things up front. But one of the downsides about dropshipping is there's a lot of competition and there's a lot of people in this that are going to come after you, they're going to try to make you fail. And dropshipping, in my opinion, is not a long-term business. It's not a very scalable business. I feel like it's a good business where you can learn all the fundamentals about starting your own business. And the reason why I say that is because you can wear many different hats when you're getting into dropshipping. You learn customer service, you learn how to market, you learn website development, you learn funnel development, you learn email marketing. You have to learn all these different things if you want to actually have a successful dropshipping store. So one day I could be a customer support agent, and the next day I could be the funnel developer, and the next day I could be a web designer that's learning how to code. That's why I really recommend dropshipping for anyone who's trying to start a business, because you can take 4 years of school, but you could learn more in like 2 months of just learning how to dropship and investing your own money in that business model than you would ever get from school. Now, dropshipping was pretty funny because I would have times where I'm talking to a customer on the phone and they're like, hey, I don't like the quality of this item. Let me talk to your manager. And, because it's a one-man army, there's times where I put the phone down and I say, yeah, I'll get you on the manager. Hold on one sec.
Yes, this is Jimmy, the manager. How can I help you?
I learned a lot from dropshipping. I did. I hired my first 2-3 virtual assistants from that. And at the age of 20, when you're like the boss of other people too, and you're scaling this business and you're working all these things and you're understanding the marketing psychology of customers and the reason why people actually buy things, and you're getting $200 to $500 orders on some days, that completely changed the game for me. That's why I recommend dropshipping as the starting business model. Now, I did mention earlier that there were 2 more, affiliate marketing, and then on top of that, Amazon FBA. I did try both of them at the same time. The thing about affiliate marketing is that if you're trying to do this without using ad spend, it's going to be a long journey because you need to rank organically for SEO keywords, or you need to have an audience in some way or another. Now, you could have a large following on Instagram, but for even people to do that, it takes a while to build. Now, for my own businesses, I've built Instagram accounts for up to 20 to 30,000 followers within a year, all organically. But I realized how hard it could be to do that even on a personal brand while still not getting shadow banned by Instagram, while still trying to do it as organic as you can. And I realized that affiliate marketing would just take way too much time. So what I did was I actually blended all the business models together. A lot of people didn't think about that. I really utilized a lot of things when I started my business. Instagram story ads were nothing when I was 20 years old. Nobody even thought about it. The clicks were so cheap. I was literally getting purchase conversions for 33 cents. So I actually turned my dropshipping label brand into a private label brand. I bought a bunch of inventory. And if you guys watch some of my older videos, I actually did vlogs in my basement where I'm like packaging things and doing that. It was a while ago. And that's when the same time actually this YouTube channel actually all started up. So I did that. I combined that with Amazon FBA. FBA is basically where you buy something from someone, you put it into an Amazon warehouse, and whenever someone buys it off Amazon, you just collect the profit margins in between that. So say I have this plastic mug right here, this plastic cup, and I want to sell this and I want to make money. If I can find a supplier from China that can sell this for $1, I'll sell this on my Amazon listing for $5. But one of the issues with Amazon that I ran into with multiple items was the fact that Chinese people and manufacturers are getting extremely smart. Now, this isn't accounting for any of the tariffs or anything going on politically, but back then when I first started, if you saw first page listers making 6 figures a month just passively from an Amazon FBA listing, people in China would see that too. And because we are the middleman, technically, we are actually talking to the manufacturer and putting in Amazon, people in China realized, why do we need to even work with people like them? Why don't we double our margins and go straight into the US? And that's what they did. So if you guys go on Amazon now, you'll see a lot of fake reviews and you'll see a lot of broken English on different type of items, and it'll be the cheapest items because they realized as long as they get their photos right, they add just a little bit of emojis in their product description, and they find a hot selling item and they can get an initial wave of buyers and some reviews. Those people in China are becoming millionaires. They're making so much money. So our government is understanding all this. That's part of the reason why the tariffs are going on too, just because the influx of the Chinese market coming into the US, it was just that's part of the reason. A lot of things are political too. And if you guys know me, you know I really don't engage myself in any type of politics. I really try to stay away from all of that. It's just a waste of energy for me. I don't watch TV. I don't watch anything. I just immerse myself in my own self-improvement habits. That's what I recommend to you guys as well too. But those are the things I did. I'm not going to go in depth on dropshipping. I'm not going to be talking about Facebook ads, what you guys need to do. But just know that because I learned so much from dropshipping, I was able to actually start my own digital marketing agency. And that allowed me to help other businesses that were successful and helping them out. So because if you learn how to dropship, you're a good marketer. That's what you are. That's it. You're just marketing for different suppliers that don't know how to market for themselves. You're building a website, you're dropshipping, you are marketing. That's all you're doing. So once I learned how to market, I realized I could apply that to different businesses. That's when I started the digital marketing agency and I helped other huge companies. And I think that's the most scalable business, especially if you have a good customer relationship established. So if you have that done and you're able to get clients on a consistent basis, that's very scalable because these clients can pay you anywhere from $5,000 to $10,000 a month. And if you get 5 of them or even 10 of them, that's $50,000 to $100,000 a month right there. And that's really how you can hit 7 figures very easily. Yes, there's a lot of headaches involved. Yes, there's a lot of work involved. It's not as easy as it seems. But after all the business models that I have tried, digital marketing has been the most stress-free, especially if you have a couple of virtual assistants on your side, if you get a very good co-founder, if you have different players that you know are good at what they're doing and you know how to leverage that, then that money is a lot easier. It's a lot stress-free than dropshipping. I'll give you guys 4 actionable tips right now. Pretty long video, so thank you guys if you're still with me. 4 actionable tips you guys can take if you guys are interested at all in just starting your journey. You may not have made any money. You may have not even thought about starting your own business, but listen to me right here. I had nothing. I went to community college. I never knew what entrepreneurship was. I thought it was a freaking French baguette or something. I didn't know what a business was either. But I learned everything online because I had a drive. I had goals that I wanted to hit. My goals right now, it's to help out my parents. My parents work extremely hard. My goal is that I want to take them out on a vacation. I want to be able to take them to Korea whenever I want. That's why I focus so much actually on getting credit cards and a lot of points. And people ask me, Brian, why are you saving 800,000 points? How come you never use your points? I never use my points because I want to spend that on people I care about, like my parents, like my grandparents, people that did not grow up with much. I'm saving that for them. I don't want to use that myself, especially if I'm making money on my own. I don't need to use my points. But this goes back to the first thing you guys need to do, and you need to establish your goals and your why. A really good book that I'm going to recommend you guys is just starting with your why. If you understand your purpose, everything else kind of flows easier. And this really goes to like law of attraction type stuff. I'm not going to dig deep into that, but I do believe in it. You need to understand your why, your goal, because if you have no goals, if you don't want anything, you're not going to get anything done. For me, I want to help out my parents. I want to create financial stability just because I know what not having money is like. So those are really my goals. On top of that, I have a lot more smaller goals and different goals that I'll share just future videos. Once you establish your goals and your why, a lot of things happen a lot easier, but you still need to feed your mind the right content. If you consume a lot of junk, if you have all these weeds in your head, think about like a growing garden. You're letting those weeds just grow. A lot of stupid thing, watching like Jersey Shore and just things that don't help you out, then that's what's going to happen. You need to put a lot of healthy things into your mind. I was never a big reader because school traumatized me for that. Shakespeare ruined my essence of reading and I never wanted to read again. So I actually started out with audiobooks. If you guys are interested at all in any audiobooks, I'll try to find an Audible like referral link. I know people do that. I don't have anything set up like that, but I'll look for one down below. So I recommend listening to audiobooks. My commute to work used to be a very long commute, like 40 minutes to an hour just to get to work, just one way. So I was in the car for 2 hours. In those 2 hours, you need to consume a lot of good stuff. I feel like that's the most perfect opportunity because you're driving, you're already distracted a little by that, and you just listen to good content. So what I personally did was I listened to a lot of good audiobooks. Think and Grow Rich. Think and Grow Rich is my personal favorite one. The Wealthy Gardener, really good one. Rich Dad, Poor Dad, that's another good book. It's a guy who has two dads, and no, they're not gay, even though there's nothing wrong with being gay. It's just he had one guy who worked like a corporate life, a poor dad, and then the other guy who was rich because he worked a business. And then you just learn like basic business principles as well from that. I listened to a lot of audiobooks, and I got into journaling pretty well too. So that just reinforces the idea that we're very visual people, and you should have all your goals down on a piece of notebook or a journal. And I actually, like in some of my videos you guys will see on that side of my room, I have like the freaking Kia Stinger taped up there. I have a picture of someone else's bank account up there, how much I want, because every day I want to look at it and I want to visualize it. I want to feel the feeling of it. And that's exactly what I did last year, which got me to here where I am now. So every year I'm trying to upgrade my goals, and that's what I did. The next tip after that, listening to audiobooks, journaling, I'm going to say watch YouTube videos. YouTube has opened up this entire platform and community of like entrepreneurs where you can relate to people, you can ask some questions down below, and you can connect with other people that will inspire you and motivate you to keep pushing on further. All I did back in the day was listen to audiobooks, journaled, and watch YouTube videos, and I took a lot of action. You know, action is a very important thing, but the YouTube videos helped me a lot just because I was able to look up to someone that did it, someone that's young maybe, and someone that I wish I wanted to be. You just need to have that. And a lot of people aren't that hopeful, but if you're able to see someone successful that actually started with nothing, it gives you so much hope, you guys. You have no idea. And that hope goes a long way. We're going to skip. So I had a whole list of what I wanted to share with you guys, but I didn't realize this video is going to be half an hour long. So I'm not going to share with you guys exactly all of that. I'll just save it for another video, but you guys need to understand that you need to fail a lot. You guys may just see my success or the YouTube subscribers or the comments or people like, oh, Brian, like this and that. But I actually failed so many times. This isn't my first YouTube channel. This isn't my first business. This isn't the first time I've had clients. I've had clients reject me. I've had businesses fail. I've lost so much money, maybe more than I've made money. But at the end of the day, you guys need to realize like all this is supposed to supplement you towards your end goal. Okay, it doesn't matter if you're 40 or 50 years old right now. That's just an excuse to you. If you think you're too old for any of this, that's just another excuse. You need to aim to fail. I actually don't aim to succeed. I know it sounds crazy, but I actually aim to fail. So think about if you're in your prime, you're single, you're going out to the clubs. A lot of people have this mindset where they need to pick up 3 or 5 girls. I have the mindset where I need to get rejected by 5 girls because for every like 1 girl I get rejected, I know I'll probably get 5 yeses. I look forward to rejection. Rejection is one of my favorite things. I look forward to failing. But the thing is, if I gave it my all and I failed, then I know I have no regrets. So learn to fail, okay? Learn to fail, but also learn to recover after you fail. That's really where a lot of the greatest things have happened for me. When my YouTube channel failed, I started this one. This one grew up. When my first business failed, I started another one. That grew up. I failed so many times, you guys. I'll just do a video. I'll title it like all the times I failed, and I'll go over it because all the times are in these journals. There are times where I just sat on the floor and I just cried for hours. It's just, I feel like for every entrepreneur I know, for anyone who's like remotely successful or consider themselves successful, they've had those moments. They've hit rock bottom or what they think is rock bottom, but every time after that, when you hit rock bottom, you just propel forward. Okay, so that is my video. This is going to be a super long video. If you guys have stuck with me so far, please throw a comment down below. I feel like the audience retention rate on this video is going to be like 30 to 40%. This is going to be a long video. Hopefully the algorithm helps your boy out just a little bit, but even if it doesn't, even if I only get 500 views on this video, I hope I can actually impact those 500 people. That's just enough for me right there. So here are some call to actions that you guys need to hear about. So here's some call to actions just to wrap up this video. If you guys have not yet followed me on Instagram, make sure you guys do, because if I come out with any type of program, course, or like private like podcast or anything, the first place it's going to go is actually on my Instagram. I'm more active on my Instagram, and if I don't post anything, it means I'm just working my ass. So follow me on Instagram if you guys want. So the number 2 thing on top of following me on Instagram is actually to learn more about credit, you guys. I wish I learned everything about credit before I started my business, because I was leveraging SBA loans and I was leveraging like Shopify capital loans and PayPal loans, just trying to buy more inventory and scaling. And if I knew that I could get 0% APR on just some business cards that would not affect my personal credit, I not only would have made money, I would have saved myself so much money, because some of those interest rates on those small business loan packages can be up anywhere from like 10 to 12% when you can literally get it for 0%. So don't damage your personal score, you guys. If you're looking to start your own business, start by just building your credit first. Get your Chase Sapphire preferred cards, get your Chase Trifecta cards set up, but then get into your business cards and have them all ready. If you're ready to start your business, you want to be able to leverage your business cards, because if you do take a hit, if you're not able to be successful with it, you don't want to face any repercussions of having a bad credit score. You don't want to put it on your personal cards. This is exactly what these small business credit cards are meant for. It's meant for people starting up their business. It's meant to help you guys out, and it's meant to be there to support you when you're first starting out your journey, because we all understand how hard it is. So I'll be making more videos on just business credit, just exactly what I did to get them. I'll make more updated videos just so I can walk you guys through that whole process. But on top of that, you guys, one last thing. Damn, it's a long video. My memory card's full. You need to obsess. I feel like that's one of the things I did. I obsessed a lot just on trying to be successful. If you kind of sort of want it, if you like think like, oh, maybe I'll start a business, or maybe I want to be rich, then those are the people that I see just they just don't end up getting it. But the ones that want it really bad, the ones where they don't even have to say it, but I can literally feel their energy and how bad they want it, those are the ones that I'm seeing being very successful. So obsess over what you want. Everyone has goals. Some people just want to travel the whole world. Some people just want to not work in an office. And some people just want to have enough money to be able to eat out when they want. Regardless of what your goals are, you need to obsess over it. And you need to understand that it's okay to fail. And you just need to take action. That's it. So, woo. That is a long video. Hopefully I can get this uploaded today. It's on a Sunday. Very long video, but I really hope this helped someone out there. If it did, like I said, drop a like first of all. If this video helped you guys out, drop a like and just let me know down below in the comments, and share this with anyone who needs to see this. We all start with nothing, you guys. Everyone has started with nothing. Even the greats have started with nothing. You guys can't see my bookshelf. I have all my books, and what I've noticed, what a trend just from everyone. Anak Signal, Mark Cuban, Tony Robbins, all these guys started with nothing. Some of these guys were living in their cars. Mark Zuckerberg, like, actually, this man went to Harvard. But you guys get my point. We all start from somewhere. I know you guys can do it. If a dummy like me can do it, you guys can definitely do it too. I hope you guys enjoy this video. Brian Jung's gonna peace out. See ya.